Episode 56 HD Only PM2.5 Pollution detectable in the neighborhood? The need for hyper-localized PM2.5 monitors. The popular TV series Only Murders in the Building is evaluated in a review titled Only Murders in the Building, Not the Same Old Song and Dance. https://www.newyorktimes.com/2023/08/art/television/only-murders-murders-in-the-building-season-3.html. What if PM2.5 pollution is detected with hyperlocalized PM2.5 monitors, say, on every block, not from every building yard on the block, though? Then the adverse health effects and early deaths from PM2.5 pollution could be detected, the sources found and the sources eliminated, resulting in many less early deaths from PM2.5 than there are now. This would not be the same old song and dance of the EPA if they adopted a complaint-based system of PM2.5 detection, using citizen scientist PM2.5 data from near neighbor-owned, or provided free by the federal government and health departments, $249 per Polaire PM2.5 monitors. Going deeper into the review of Only Murders in the Building, this excerpted review of the 2023 third season of Only Murders in the Building TV series is linked to the 2023 PBS American Masters TV documentary about Dr. Tony Fauci titled Dr. Tony Fauci by use of the word theater. Dr. Fauci's timely, science-based, sensible recommendations that Americans wear masks and be vaccinated during the COVID pandemic were theatrically denounced in congressional hearings during the COVID pandemic by Representative Jim Jordan and Senator Rand Paul as merely theater. So tackling a serious and timely subject such as PM2.5 emissions from indoor wood burning causing adverse health effects and early deaths for near neighbors may be interpreted by opponents as theater. Keep that in mind when attempting to improve public health. In the funny world of Only Murders in the Building, the stakes of solving a fake murder are not quite so high, and the theater aspect of this comedy is lightweight and escapist. No spoilers seem to be included in this review, and solving this only murder in the building that is not in the building this time will probably still test your deductive abilities to the max. Notably, Meryl Streep, joining the cast this season, is or was in despair, in the real world, for the world because of the climate crisis. Excerpts edited by RAWSEP for brevity and clarity and relationship to residents against wood smoke emission particulates. For Only Murders Season 3, Not the Same Old Song and Dance. Meryl Streep joined the cast for a season that moved much of the action to Broadway, enlisting a musical theater supergroup to write the songs. August 8, 2023. Meryl Streep was looking for levity. She was in despair of the world for so many reasons, she said, namely the climate crisis. So she reached out to the funniest people she could think of, Steve Martin and Martin Short, whose late career resurgence as a double act has included a touring stage show, TV specials and their Emmy-winning Hulu comedy, Only Murders in the Building. Only Murders has always had show business jokes. In the premiere, a movie star played by Paul Rudd, starring in a non-musical from Oliver titled Death Rattle, is mysteriously murdered. Oliver tries to save his already absurd production by turning it into a musical, Death Rattle Dazzle. Martin's character sings as the detective. "I'm a terrible singer," Martin said. "Selena should have a song, but her character is not in show business." Gomez does perform a quick Fosse-inspired dance number in a dream sequence. So did the experience cure Streep's malaise? It did, indeed, she said. They go into this show with a 1940s cockeyed optimism, she said. And it was so lovely to be in that world. Beginning to allow a complaint-based system for indoor residential wood-burning emissions in 2023 would allow a parallel track of flawed wood stove certification and a complaint-based system for monitoring and eliminating polluting indoor wood stove emissions. Dr. Tony Fauci's innovative use of a government agency parallel track encompassing AIDS clinical trials alongside allowing use of one experimental drug ganciclovir while conducting a clinical trial of AZT, was successful in saving lives while preventing blindness, for instance, in 1989. Most of the articles noted here are about the adverse effects of PM2.5 on human health. Wood smoke is 90% PM2.5, particulate matter of 2.5 micrometer size, the perfect size to infiltrate the human lung, setting off a cascade of human health problems and early deaths. Indoor residential wood-burning emissions of PM2.5 cause health problems and early deaths for near neighbors. The hyper-localized emissions from indoor wood burning need to be monitored by $249 citizen scientist owned, or handed out for free by the federal government or a health department, purple air PM2.5 monitors, and if those wood-burning emissions that reach the yards and infiltrate the homes of near neighbors exceed National Ambient Air Quality Standards, NOx, for PM2.5 as a consequence of the wood-burning emissions from the stack of a nearby indoor residential wood burner, each wood-burning stove should be shut down because of violation of NOx standards of 35 micrograms PM2.5 per cubic meter in a 24-hour period, U.S. current standard, regardless of whether the wood stove in question is certified by the EPA. The Office of the Inspector General, OIG, watchdog of the EPA, stated in a February 2023 report that the U.S. EPA wood stove certification program is flawed and allows loopholes caused by the lobbying of the wood stove industry to result in many or most wood stoves certified actually to be non-compliant with the EPA's own lax wood stove emission standards. The EPA emission standard, New Source Performance Standards, NSPS, for cordwood burning stoves is 2 grams PM2.5 per hour. Cordwood is the wood most often used by indoor residential wood burners. If wood stoves actually were operated for 24 hours per day at 2 grams emissions of PM2.5 per hour, the first nearest neighbor at 20 feet away would experience PM2.5 at 89.3% above the allowed limit of PM2.5 NOx in a 24-hour period, and the second nearest neighbor at 80 feet away would experience PM2.5 at 10.5% above the allowed PM2.5 NOx in a 24-hour period. Which violation is more important for the EPA to note that, through loopholes causing non-compliance, even certified wood stoves are overwhelmingly more polluting than the safe performance standards of EPA NSPS, or that certified wood stoves that meet the NSPS standards still emit pollution that affects near neighbors at levels exceeding NOx allowed by EPA standards. Solid fuels such as wood and coal inevitably emit particulates. Carbon capture after decades of research does not work and is expensive to research. However, taxpayer subsidies to biomass, wood burning, plants and solid fuel burning, carbon capture research keep these inefficiently heating, wood burning plants, and futile, carbon capture, industries alive. The 10 assistant attorney generals threatening to sue the EPA to provide clarity to wood stove vendors should instead ask the EPA to enact a complaint-based system of controlling wood stove emissions by use of near-neighbor-owned PM2.5 monitors, using PM2.5 data as evidence to shut down polluting indoor residential wood stoves, one by one if necessary. Purple air PM2.5 monitors are already being used on US EPA AirNow maps of smoke and air alongside $100,000 EPA PM2.5 monitors. Wood burning emits more PM2.5 and CO2 than the fossil fuel coal burning. Wood burning emits 450 times the PM2.5 of the fossil fuel natural gas burning. One of the EPA's responses to the 10 Assistant Attorney General's threat of a lawsuit is that the EPA will be unable to change NSPS for wood stoves until 2027, although the EPA is required by statute to change NSPS every 8 years, and since 2015 was the last change of NSPS, the EPA is required to change them, probably lower limits, in 2023, this year. Beginning to allow a complaint-based system for indoor residential wood burning emissions in 2023 would allow a parallel track of flawed wood stove certification and a complaint-based system for monitoring and eliminating polluting indoor wood stove emissions. Dr. Tony Fauci's innovative use of a government agency parallel track encompassing AIDS clinical trials alongside allowing use of one experimental drug ganciclovir while conducting a clinical trial of AZT, was successful in saving lives while preventing blindness. For instance, in 1989, emails of 10 assistant attorney generals preparing to sue the EPA to provide clarity for indoor residential wood stove manufacturers, vendors, and users. Instead, the assistant attorneys general should ask for a complaint-based system in place of the failed wood stove certification program. The states involved are Alaska, Illinois, Maryland, Massachusetts, Minnesota, New Jersey, New York, Oregon, Vermont, and Washington, as well as the Puget Sound Clean Air Agency. Contact emails for the 10 assistant or deputy attorney generals and a general counsel are cody.doig@alaska.gov. Alaska Senior Assistant Attorney General email, Cody Doig. Jason.james@ilag.gov. Illinois Assistant Attorney General email, Jason James. Goldstein at oag.state.md.us Maryland Special Assistant Attorney General Email, Stephen Goldstein. Turner.Smith at mass.gov Massachusetts Assistant Attorney General Email, Turner Smith. Peter.Serto at ag.state.mn.us Minnesota Special Assistant Attorney General Email, Peter Serto. Lisa.Morelli at law.njoag.gov New Jersey Deputy Attorney General Email, Lisa Morelli. Nicholas.Batino at ag.newyork.gov New York Assistant Attorney General Email, Nicholas Batino. Paul.Garahan at doj.state.or.us Oregon Attorney in Charge Email, Paul Garahan, one of 2 or attorneys. Steve.Novick at doj.state.or.us Oregon Special Assistant Attorney General Email, Steve Novick, one of 2 or attorneys. Nick.Persampieri at vermont.gov Vermont Assistant Attorney General Email, Nick Persampieri. Caroline.Kress at atg.wa.gov Washington Assistant Attorney General Email, Caroline Kress. Jennifer.Scleanair.gov General Counsel, Puget Sound Clean Air Agency, Jennifer A. Dold. A new icon has been added to the RAWSEP President's website, which is now the nearest right icon. The icon is an ask that has already been described in episodes 56 GB, description of the parties who should be at the table when deciding on safe wood stove emission limits and fenceline measurements, rather than wood stove certification, and emails to contact 10 deputy or assistant attorney generals and 1 general counsel. Those PDFs are included at the icon link. Residents Against Wood Smoke Emission Particulates, see https://rawsepresidents.wordpress.com and click on the nearest right icon for the ask. Contact 10 Attorneys General https://rawsepresident.wordpress.com/ Please contact Attorneys General about August suit versus E P A asking for certainty for wood stove users. RAWSEP asks for complaint-based SITM based on PM monitor data exceeding EP/. To the right of that, Barbie goes to the dating game. https://rawsepresidents.wordpress.com/1-barbie-goes-to-the-dating-game. To the right of that, cookies that may contain rocks are recalled https://rawsepresidents.wordpress.com. Cookies that may contain rocks are recalled. To the right of that, the fox owns the forest card game https://rawsepresidents.wordpress.com/ the fox owns the forest card game TBA. Then, to the right of that, the latest months, August and July 2023, of PDFs of articles with URLs to search on https://rawsepresidents.wordpress.com/1-August-2023-PDFs-of-URLs and https://rawsepresidents.wordpress.com/1-July-2023-PDFs-of-URLs. To the right of that, stickers to hand out for RAWSEP, games such as 1. Bingo for RAWSEP, 2. Crosswords for RAWSEP 3, Endwood Smoke Jeopardy 4, PM2.5 Free Monopoly and Endwood Smoke Monopoly 5, vending machines for PM2.5 monitors, and icon links to 30-minute YouTube videos and Spotify podcasts as well as podcasts.google.com, Castbox and Pocket Cast. Pocket Cast is only free on the phone app. Pocket Cast works on Apple phones, and, below those icons, icon links to monthly URLs of PDFs from June 2023 to May 2022.